Hello beautiful people, welcome back to Soul Steps by Poetess. I hope all of you are having amazing weekends. So today's video is all about self-love. And honestly, I'm so excited for this one. Although self-love is something that I knew about and kind of practiced in my daily routine, but in the recent times, I've started to make an effort to consciously incorporate into my lifestyle. And I've urged my loved ones to do the same. And believe me, the difference is just unbelievable. The happiness and the confidence that you get once you start loving yourself is just not comparable to how you were before. So without any delay, let's begin. So what is self-love? It is having appreciation for one's worth or regard for one's happiness and well-being. To simply put it, it is treating yourself the way you would treat someone that you truly love. And so to understand self-love, we need to understand love first. Love is both a feeling and an action. The way you feel when you're with a loved one, that happiness, that pure ecstasy is what is the emotion part of love. And the things or the acts that you do for that person to express your love are the actions of love. So loving someone is feeling those emotions of pure joy and happiness when you're with them. And it's taking actions to show your love, to make sure that their needs are met, that they feel loved, that they feel secure, safe, and to make sure that they are constantly smiling. Now, an important point that I want to discuss here is that please don't confuse self-love with selfishness. Being selfish is lacking consideration or having disregard for others, while self-love is simply putting your needs first, simply honoring how you feel and what you want to do. And similarly, we don't have to confuse self-love with narcissism either. Narcissism is having an inflated sense of self-importance. That is a pretty toxic trait and should not be ever confused with self-love. So loving yourself doesn't mean that you're the most talented or the most beautiful or the most intelligent or the most hardworking person on the face of this earth, in your friend circle, in your classroom, in your workspace. No, that's not right. It simply means that you accept yourself for who you are. You know and you accept your shortcomings. You work on them. You don't stop putting in the effort to become a better person. But instead, you simply don't go too hard on yourself in the process. You don't constantly nitpick or criticize yourself when things are not going your way. When you love yourself is when you show compassion to yourself. Take an example to understand this better. How would you treat your best friend who's in distress? Won't you try to console him or her and tell that this is not your fault? Stop being so hard on yourself. You're beautiful, you're amazing, you're important, and you are worth it. This is exactly what you tell a friend who's lacking self-esteem or self-confidence. And when you do this all for yourself is when you start practicing self-love. Now, what's the importance of self-love? We've already discussed what it means and what not to confuse it with, what are the examples, but what's the basic purpose of knowing this all? Well, self-love is a beautiful tool because it increases your self-worth, your self-esteem and self-confidence. Because of all this, you're gonna make healthier choices in life. The choices that you make whenever you're encountered in roadblocks in life won't be dictated out of fear, out of self-imposed restrictions. Instead, you won't worry too much before taking a risk, and chances are you'll succeed at it. Another point is that your relationships will get better. You cannot love someone till you love yourself. And a beautiful analogy that I have for this is seen from tarot cards. The two people who love each other, be it any kind of relationship, romantic or platonic, friends or family or simply your partner. The two people need to have their cups or their vessels of love overflowing with it. You cannot show compassion or love to someone else till you are overflowing with it, because otherwise, believe me, you'll get exhausted at some time, and then it'll be really hard to come out of that. And because self love increases your self esteem and confidence, it is pretty likely that you will also succeed in your academics and your career. Now, all of us have covered the basics of self love. The question that arises is how to consciously practice self love. Now, self love isn't about instant gratification. It's not buying a pair of shoes out of impulse, eating an entire pizza for dinner, not giving a test when you don't want to. All of these things are in one way or another a form of escapism. The feeling that you get after doing all these activities is surely good, but it's short term. When it comes about long term, these feelings don't last. Or even worse, they're damaging in long term. Loving yourself means that you give your mind, your body, and your soul what you need for this marathon of life. And this is precisely what we will discuss in the next video. We will talk about these self-love languages. What are the languages of self-love? What are the languages that speak to us the most? The ones that we understand clearly. And what practical steps we can take to start incorporating self-love consciously and then subconsciously into our routine to become the best version of ourselves. If you enjoyed today's video, do like, comment and subscribe, and do share it with your loved ones, because now is especially the time that we need to practice these positive habits even more. And it's time you start falling in love with yourselves and motivating your loved ones to do the same. Have a great week ahead. Bye.